The rain hammered down on the cracked pavement of our San Diego cul-de-sac like it was trying to wash away the sins of the whole damn city. But it couldn't touch the storm raging inside me. I slammed the front door behind me, my backpack thudding against the wall, heart pounding from the sprint home, only to freeze when I saw him. Jackson, my stepbrother of exactly 3 months, lounged against the kitchen counter like he owned the place, shirtless and dripping from his own run, those sharp blue eyes locking onto mine with a coldness that sliced right through the humid air. "You gonna stand there all night, Logan? Or are you finally gonna admit you've been dodging me like I'm the plague?" I swallowed hard, the words sticking in my throat like broken glass. It wasn't just the rain making everything feel heavier. It was the way Jackson's gaze pinned me in place, unblinking, like he could see every secret I'd buried since Dad married his mom last spring. We'd been thrown together in this sprawling ranch-style house in Claremont, a neighborhood that screamed middle-class dreams with its palm trees and ocean breezes, but for me, felt like a pressure cooker ready to blow. I was 19, a sophomore at San Diego State, scraping by on community college credits transferred over, majoring in graphic design because it let me hide behind a screen. Jackson, he was 21, a junior at UCSD studying engineering, the golden boy who'd surfed every beach from La Jolla to Ocean Beach before breakfast. And yeah, he was hot, objectively, infuriatingly so, with that sun-bleached blonde hair that fell just right and a jawline that could cut glass. But he was also an ice wall wrapped in muscle, and ever since the wedding, he treated me like an unwelcome roommate instead of family. "Not dodging," I muttered, kicking off my soaked sneakers by the door. "Just busy. Midterms. You know, it was a lie, and we both knew it." I'd been avoiding the house like it was cursed, crashing at my buddy Marco's apartment in North Park whenever I could, sketching late into the night to drown out the noise in my head. The noise that started the day I walked in on Jackson in the bathroom, towel slung low, steam curling around him like a lover's whisper. I'd bolted so fast I nearly tripped over the hallway rug, but that image, it haunted me. Because I'm gay. Have been since I was 15 and realized crushes on the swim team captain weren't just bro stuff. And Jackson, God, he was straight as the Pacific Highway, or at least, that's what his endless parade of bikini-clad dates suggested. He snorted, grabbing a protein shake from the fridge and chugging it down in one go, his Adam's apple bobbing in a way that made my stomach twist. "Busy. Right. That's why you're out till 2 a.m. every night, coming home smelling like cheap tequila and regret." His voice was low, edged with something I couldn't place. Anger? Concern? It didn't matter. I didn't want his pity or his judgment. I wanted. Fuck. I didn't even know anymore. "Leave it, Jackson," I said, heading for the stairs. Our house was a typical SoCal split level. Kitchen and living room down here, bedrooms up top, with a view of the bay that should have been paradise but felt like a cage. Dad and Ellen, his new wife, were off in Palm Springs for the weekend, celebrating their honeymoon phase or whatever rom-com bullshit they called it. Leaving us alone. Again. He stepped into my path before I could escape, close enough that I could smell the salt on his skin from the rain. "We're family now, Logan. Act like it." The word family hit like a slap. Family didn't stare at you like you were a puzzle they couldn't solve. Family didn't make your pulse race every time they brushed past in the hallway. I shoved by him, my shoulder clipping his, and bolted upstairs. My room was a mess of sketch pads and empty energy drink cans, posters of indie bands and that one Banksy print I'd scored at a flea market in Hillcrest. I locked the door, leaned against it, and slid to the floor, breath coming in ragged bursts. Why did he have to push? Why couldn't he just let me fade into the background like I'd done with every other complication in my life? Downstairs, I heard the front door slam, Jackson heading out, probably to blow off steam at the gym or some dive bar in Pacific Beach. Good. Let him go. I pulled out my laptop, opened Photoshop, and lost myself in pixels, designing a logo for a queer youth center in Balboa Park. It was safe there, in the digital glow. No stepbrothers, no unspoken tensions, no risk of saying the wrong thing and shattering whatever fragile peace we had. But sleep didn't come easy that night. I tossed on my twin bed, the ceiling fan whirring lazily overhead, replaying his words. We're family now. Bullshit. If he knew the half of it, the dreams that woke me sweating, his face blurred with mine in ways that would get us both disowned, he'd run faster than I ever could. Morning broke with the kind of relentless California sun that burned away last night's storm, turning the air hazy and golden. I dragged myself to campus, Aztec Center buzzing with hungover freshmen and overachievers clutching lattes. My first class was digital illustration, and Marco was already there, sprawled in the back row with his sketchbook open to a half-finished portrait of some K-pop idol. Dude, you look like shit, he said, sliding me a spare granola bar. Marco was my lifeline, 20, Mexican-American, with a fade haircut and a laugh that could defuse a bomb. We'd met in intro art last year, bonded over bad cafeteria food and worse exes. He was bi, out and proud, the kind of guy who dragged me to pride parades even when I pretended to hate the crowds. Rough night, I admitted, unwrapping the bar. Stepbrother drama. He raised an eyebrow. The hot one? Spill. I hesitated, but Marco had a way of pulling truth out of me like a magnet. Jackson. He's intense. Cornered me last night about avoiding him. Like, what does he expect? We're not blood, and he's acting like I owe him my soul. Marco chewed thoughtfully. Maybe he likes you, man. Ever think of that? I nearly choked. Likes me? As in, you're not the only one noticing the tension. I've seen how he looks at you when he picks you up from parties. Like he's starving. The idea lodged in my brain like a splinter, impossible to ignore. Jackson? No way. He was the king of casual hookups. Instagram full of beach volleyball pics with girls in string bikinis. But as class dragged on, professor droning about vector graphics, I couldn't shake it. What if Marco was right? What if the coldness was a shield? After lecture, we hit up the food trucks by the quad, inhaling fish tacos slathered in crema. San Diego's food scene was my therapy. Spicy, fresh, unpretentious. Marco grilled me more, but I deflected with jokes about our upcoming group project, a mural for the campus LGBTQ+ Alliance. By the time I got home that afternoon, the house was empty, thank God. Ellen had left a note about dinner in the crock-pot, and Dad's golf clubs were gone. Jackson's truck wasn't in the drive. Exhaled, finally relaxing. Up in my room, I blasted the Nationals' High Violet, letting Matt Berninger's baritone fill the space as I sketched. The lines flowed, abstract waves crashing into fractured hearts, colors bleeding from teal to crimson. It was therapeutic, turning the chaos inside into something tangible. Then my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Hey, it's Jax. Marco gave me your digits. We need to talk. Meet me at Sunset Cliffs at 7? Don't flake. My stomach dropped. Sunset Cliffs, those rugged bluffs overlooking the Pacific, where locals went to watch the sun dip into the ocean like a coin in a well. Romantic as hell, if you were into that. Which I wasn't. Not with him. I typed back, busy. Rain check. His reply was instant. Coward. Fine. But this isn't over. I tossed the phone aside, but the word coward echoed. Was I? Hiding from a guy who shared my dinner table, who I'd caught stealing glances at my art during family movie nights. Yeah, maybe I was. Evening fell soft and bruised purple, the kind of sky that made San Diego feel infinite. I caved, couldn't stand the gnawing curiosity. Grabbed my hoodie, hopped on my beat-up Vespa, and zipped west toward the cliffs. Traffic hummed on Garnet Avenue, surfers peeling off like seals from the beach parking lots. By the time I parked, the sun was a sliver, painting the waves in fire. Jackson was there, silhouetted against the drop-off, hands shoved in his pockets. He turned as I approached, that cold mask cracking just a fraction. You came. Figured I'd shut you up, I said, keeping my distance. The wind whipped salt spray up from below, stinging my eyes. He laughed, short and bitter. Always with the walls, Logan. Look, I get it. This blended family crap sucks. My mom's all sunshine and second chances. But Dad, your dad, he's been gone so much, it's like starting over every time. I blinked. Vulnerability from Jackson? Through me. What's your point? My point is, I'm not the enemy. But you're treating me like one. Sneaking around, lying about where you are. If it's cause of whatever, just say it. Whatever. The word hung, loaded. My heart hammered louder than the surf. It's not bullshit. He stepped closer, close enough to tower over me, his breath warm against the chill. I see you, Logan. The way you watch me when you think I'm not looking. The sketches you hide. You're not as invisible as you think. Panic surged, hot and electric. I backed up, heels scraping the dirt path. Fuck you, Jackson. You don't know shit. His hand shot out, grabbing my wrist. Not hard, but firm. Then tell me. What am I missing? The world narrowed to that touch. Skin on skin, pulse sinking. I yanked free, but not before the spark ignited something reckless. You want truth? Fine. I hate how you make me feel. Like I'm drowning in my own house. Happy now. His eyes darkened, stormy as the horizon. No. Not even close. We stood there, the sun vanishing, leaving us in twilight's grip. And in that silence, the avoidance cracked wide open, pulling us under. The drive home was a blur of sodium lights and regret, my Vespa weaving through the evening crawl on I-5 like a needle through fog. Jackson hadn't followed, hadn't said another word after my confession, just nodded like I'd handed him a live grenade and walked away. By the time I pulled into the driveway, the crockpot stew was cold, the house dark except for the flicker of the TV in the living room. Ellen and Dad must have crashed early, their rental car tucked in the garage. I tiptoed upstairs, but sleep was a joke. Every creak of the house settling sounded like footsteps, every shadow like his silhouette. I see you, Logan. Those words looped, a taunt and a promise, unraveling the careful numbness I'd built. By 3 a.m., I gave up, padding to the kitchen in socks for a glass of water. That's when I saw it. Jackson's keys on the counter, his truck gone. Relief or disappointment? I couldn't tell anymore. Campus the next day was a grind, professor calling out my half-assed homework. Marco shooting me worried side-eyes during lunch. You ghosted my text about the mural brainstorm, he accused over poke bowls at the student union. The fish was fresh, ahi ruby red against greens, but it tasted like ash. Sorry, man. Family stuff. I poked at a piece of avocado, avoiding his stare. Stepbro again? Logan, you're spiraling. Talk to me. I almost did, spilled about the cliffs. The wrist grab. The way Jackson's eyes had softened for a split second, like ice melting under sun. But vulnerability felt like weakness. So I deflected. It's nothing. He's just being Jackson. Marco wasn't buying it, but class started, saving me. Afternoon brought a guest speaker at the Alliance meeting, a trans activist from LA talking intersectionality in art. Her slides were fire. Collages of queer icons layered over protest photos, colors bold and unapologetic. It stirred something in me, a reminder that my sketches weren't just escape. They could mean something. Inspired, I biked to Balboa Park after, the air thick with jasmine from the gardens. Tourists milled around the museums, families picnicking on the grass. But I found a quiet bench by the lily pond, pulling out my tablet to digitize last night's Waveheart design. The sun dipped low, gilding the water, when my phone buzzed. Jackson, we need to finish this. My place. Kate? His place. He meant the house, right? But the text felt loaded, intimate. I typed no thanks, hit send, and powered off. Avoidance 2.0. I crash at Marco's again. Except Marco had plans, a date with some guy from Grindr. Go home. Face the music, he said, shoving me out the door with a six-pack of Pacifico for liquid courage. Traitor. The house was lit up when I arrived, laughter spilling from the backyard. Barbecue? Ellen's doing. Probably. I slipped in through the side gate, hoping to ninja upstairs, but there was Jackson, manning the grill in cargo shorts and a tank that hugged his shoulders just wrong, too right. Smoke curled up, ribs sizzling, the scent mixing with charcoal and beer. He spotted me immediately, flipping a rack with tongs like it was no big deal. About time. Grab a plate. Ellen waved from the patio table, Dad cracking open a Corona beside her. Logan, honey, we saved you some. How was class? Fine, I mumbled, piling slaw and beans onto foam. Normalcy, but my skin prickled under Jackson's gaze. We ate in that forced family rhythm, stories about Dad's latest sales trip, Ellen's yoga class mishaps, but under the table, Jackson's knee brushed mine. Accidental? I jerked away, heat flooding my face. Later, dishes done. The parents retired to their rom-com, leaving us with the cleanup. Awkward silence stretched as I scrubbed plates, Jackson drying. The window overlooked the pool, lit blue and inviting in the cooling night. You bailed, he said finally, voice low so it wouldn't carry. Got busy, suds popped between my fingers. Liar, he set a glass down harder than needed. You think running fixes this? Whatever this is. I whirled, water dripping from the sponge. What do you want from me? Jax? Absolution? I'm not your project. His jaw ticked, that cold mask slipping back. Maybe I want you to stop acting like I'm the villain. Like sharing a bathroom and bad Thanksgiving turkey makes me public enemy number one. It's not. I stopped. The words tangling. The backyard lights hummed. Crickets chirping a soundtrack to my unraveling. You don't get it. You're. You. Perfect life. Perfect body. Perfect everything. And I'm just the weird kid Dad dragged into your orbit. He stepped closer, the counter digging into my back. Perfect? Jesus. Logan. You have no idea. His hand hovered, like he wanted to touch but thought better. My folks split when I was 12. Mom bounced around jobs, dating losers who made me want to punch walls. Surfing? That's my therapy, not some trust fund hobby. And you, he exhaled sharp. You think I don't notice? The way you light up when you're drawing, or how you defend that queer stuff at dinner like it's personal. You're not weird. You're real. The air thickened, charged. My breath hitched. Why do you care? Because avoiding you is killing me too. The admission hung. Raw. Then, softer. Stay tonight. No running. I nodded, throat tight. Upstairs. Separate rooms. But the house felt smaller. Walls thinner. I lay awake, listening to his music filter through Bon Iver, all haunting falsetto and ache. Around midnight, a knock. Logan? You up? Yeah. Door cracked. Him in the hall, hair tousled, wearing nothing but boxers. Can't sleep. Walk. We ended up on the roof, access via the attic pull-down, a spot I'd claimed for stargazing. San Diego's light pollution dimmed the Milky Way to a smear, but the city sprawled below like a glittering beast, downtown skyscrapers winking, the bay a dark slash. We sat on the shingles, knees touching, passing a joint I'd stashed. First time I felt out of place here, he said after a drag, smoke curling lazy. Mom met your dad at that conference in Vegas. Thought it was a fling. Then boom, engaged. And there's you, this quiet artist kid with eyes that see too much. I coughed on the hit, passing it back. Scared the shit out of me. New family? After Mom bailing when I was 10? Nah. He nodded, understanding flickering. Yeah. But you're not so bad, you know. Annoying as hell, but intriguing, intriguing. The word warmed me more than the weed. We really talked for hours. His engineering dreams derailed by family pressure. My art scholarship apps gathering dust. Laughter slipped in, easy, when he mimicked Dad's golf swing. By 3 a.m., the joint gone, our shoulders pressed. The avoidance felt miles away. Jax, I whispered, head lolling against him. Yeah, thanks. For this. He turned, face inches away, breath minty from gum. Anytime, his eyes dropped to my mouth, lingering. Time stretched, electric. Then he pulled back, clearing his throat. We should crash. Big day tomorrow. Disappointment stung, but I followed him down, crashing into sleep with his scent, ocean and smoke, lingering on my skin. The next week blurred into a tentative truce. Shared coffees before class. Him quizzing me on design terms over breakfast. Me tagging along to his pickup games at the park. It was domestic, dangerously so, brushing teeth side by side, arguing over the remote. But the undercurrent hummed, unspoken. I catch him watching me stretch after a run, Or he'd linger when handing over the remote, fingers grazing. One Friday, Marco dragged me to a party in La Jolla, frat house thumping with EDM, red cups and bodies grinding. "Loosen up," he yelled over the bass, shoving a vodka soda my way. I nursed it, scanning the room, half hoping, half dreading Jackson's face. He wasn't there, but the alcohol loosened the knot in my chest. I danced with a cute guy, tall, curly-haired, studying film, but my mind wandered to blonde hair and blue eyes. Home late, buzz fading to regret, I found Jackson on the couch, nursing a beer. Some action flick paused. "Fun night." His tone was neutral, but his eyes jealous? "Yeah." "You?" I dropped beside him. "Close." He shrugged. Boring without the chaos. The movie resumed, but neither watched. Halfway through an explosion scene, his hand landed on my thigh. Casual? Testing? I froze, pulse roaring. "Jax." He didn't move it. "Tell me to stop." I didn't. Instead, I leaned in, heart slamming. Our lips met, tentative, then hungry. His mouth was warm, tasting of hops and want, hands cupping my face like I was fragile. Fireworks behind my eyes, better than any 4th of July over the bay. We broke apart, gasping. "Fuck," he whispered, forehead to mine. "I've wanted that since day one." "Me too." Relief flooded. Sweet. But as we tangled closer, his phone buzzed, ignored. Then again. He glanced, face paling. "Shit. It's Tyler." Tyler. His ex, the lacrosse bro from high school who'd straightened him out, or so the rumors went. Jackson silenced it, but the mood shattered. "Who's Tyler?" I asked, voice small. "No one." He pulled away, running hands through his hair. "We should slow down." The cold returned, sharper. I nodded, retreating to my room, the kisses' afterglow souring to doubt. Avoidance? Nah. This was worse, pulling closer, only to get burned. The kiss lingered like a bruise, sweet at first, then aching with every press of fabric against skin. Saturday morning, I woke to the smell of pancakes, Ellen's weekend ritual, syrup thick in the air. Downstairs, Jackson was at the stove, flipping flapjacks with practiced ease, chatting with Dad about some Chargers game. He looked up as I entered, eyes guarded, a half smile that didn't reach. "Morning, sleepyhead." "Plate's warm." I mumbled thanks, sliding into a chair, knees not quite touching his under the table. The normalcy was torture. Passing the butter, laughing at Ellen's joke about her spin class, while my mind replayed the couch, his stubble rough, hands urgent. But Tyler's text, that ghost loomed, unspoken. After breakfast, Dad and Ellen headed to the farmer's market in Little Italy, leaving us with chores. "Want help with the yard?" Jackson asked, voice casual, like we hadn't crossed a line. "Sure." I grabbed gloves, weeding the flower beds under the relentless sun. Sweat beaded, shirts sticking, but we kept space, him trimming hedges, me mulching roses. Finally, hose in hand, he sprayed me playful-like, water shocking cold. "Asshole." I lunged, tackling for the nozzle. We wrestled, laughing, mud and grass flying, until I pinned him against the fence, chests heaving. Proximity reignited the spark, his eyes darkening, lips parting. Logan. Warning or invitation. I kissed him again. Fierce. The hose forgotten. Water pooling at our feet. He kissed back. Harder. Hands fisting my shirt. Pulling me flush. It was messy. Desperate, teeth clashing. Tongues exploring like we'd been starved. He tasted like maple and mint. Body hard and yielding. A groan vibrating when I nipped his neck. Upstairs, he rasped, dragging me inside, stairs creaking under our weight. My room, sketches scattered, bed unmade became our world. Clothes shed in a frenzy. His tank over his head, revealing tanned plains and a scar from a wipeout. My jeans kicked aside, boxers tented. We crashed onto the mattress, skin electric, his weight grounding me. "You're beautiful," he murmured, tracing my ribs, lips ghosting collarbone. I arched, vulnerable, whispering his name like prayer. Hands roamed, his calloused from tools, mine soft from pencils, mapping freckles, dipping lower. When he wrapped around me, stroking slow, I shattered first, gasping his name. He followed, burying in my shoulder, breaths ragged. After, tangled in sheets, he traced lazy patterns on my chest. That was, yeah, I grinned, high on endorphins. Tyler, he stiffened. Old news. We dated freshman year. He freaked when I came out. Said it was a phase. Came out, my brain short-circuited. Wait, you're gay. By whatever. Mostly guys. He shrugged, but tension lingered. Kept it quiet after. Family's conservative enough without adding that. I nodded, processing. Ellen seemed chill, but Dad? Football Sundays and boys will be boys vibes. I'm sorry. Don't be. He kissed my forehead. This feels right. We spent the day like that. Lazy makeouts. Ordering pizza. Binging The Office with feet entwined. Bliss. Pure SoCal summer in November's mild wrap. But evening brought reality. Dad home. Grilling burgers again. Oblivious. We played it cool. Eye fucks across the grill. Toes hooking under the table, but the secret thrilled and terrified. Monday hit like a hangover. Campus crawled. My illustrations flat. Mind elsewhere. Marco cornered me at the cafe. You and Mystery Blonde? Spill or I'll sick my abuelita on you. Cracked. Gushing about the kisses. The confession. He hooped, high-fiving. Knew it, but slow down. Corazon. Blended family plus forbidden fruit? Recipe for drama. He wasn't wrong. That night, Jackson snuck into my room post-midnight. Parents asleep. We were quieter, hands over mouths. Bodies rocking slow, but intense. Whispers of more and mine. It became routine. Stolen hours. His truck for quickies at secluded beaches. Texts laced with emojis only we decoded. 2 weeks in. The high crested. He took me to Torrey Pines for a hike. Glorious trails winding through pines. Ocean crashing below. At the overlook. Wind whipping. He dropped to one knee. Not proposal, but pulling a sketchpad from his pack. Drew this for you. Sucks. But it was us. Waves as bodies entwined. Hearts in the foam. Amateur, but raw. Tears pricked. It's perfect. He stood, kissing me deep, world fading. Love you, Logan. For real. Love you too. The words freed something, light as the gulls wheeling overhead. But paradise cracks. Wednesday. I got a call from Dad. Family dinner Friday. Tyler's in town, Jackson's old buddy. Be nice. My gut twisted. Buddy? Jackson brushed it off. Just a catch-up. No biggie. Friday arrived. House buzzing. Tyler. Tall. Dark-haired. All-American jaw. Shaking my hand too firm. Heard a lot about you. Little bro. His eyes lingered. Knowing. Dinner was torture, Tyler's stories of college pranks. Jackson laughing too loud. Me not touching mine under the table. After. In the den. Beers cracked. Tyler slung an arm around Jackson. Missed you. Man. Intimate. Jackson shrugged it off. But I excused myself. Nausea rising. Upstairs. Scrolling Instagram. I saw it. Tyler's story. A throwback pic of him and Jackson kissing at a party. Captioned Old Flames Never Die Fire. Heart stopped. Betrayal. Sharp as surfboards. Confronted Jackson in the hall later. Tyler gone. Explain. He paled. Ancient history. He posted that to mess with me, knows we're. Us. Liar. Voice broke. You still talk to him? After everything. Logan. Please. No. I shoved past. Grabbing keys. I trusted you. Wait. He caught my arm. Tyler's toxic. Dumped me 'cause I wouldn't go back in the closet. But yeah. He texted. Wanted to hook up. I said no. The admission gutted. Why even respond? Fear. Quiet. Of losing this of us if it got out. I'm not ready for Dad to know. Fear. My own mirror. But it stung. I'm not your secret. I left. Crashing at Marco's. Tears hot on the 805. Avoidance. Round 3, but this time, it was him chasing texts. Come home. Please. Days blurred. Ignored calls. Skipped dinners. Campus refuge. But sketches turned dark. Shattered waves. Bleeding colors. Marco mediated. Talk. Idiot. Or lose him. A week later. Caved. Home empty. Note. Gone surfing. Meet at PB. Pacific Beach. Our spot. Waves pounded as I arrived. Boardwalk alive with skaters and vendors. Jackson emerged from the water. Wetsuit peeled to waist. Salt slick. You came. Need closure. Arms crossed. He toweled off. Eyes pleading. No closure. Fight for this. Words tumbled. Hurts. Fears. The Tyler shadow. He confessed more nights doubting. Loving me terrifyingly. You're my anchor. Logan. In this mess. We kissed. Salt bitter. Waves roaring approval. But trust? Fractured. Prove it. I whispered. He nodded. Give me time. Time we had stolen still. But deeper. He blocked Tyler. Came out to Ellen, tears. Hugs. Dad? Simmering issue. Then. The bomb. Ellen announced a family trip to Big Sur for Thanksgiving. Bonding time. Road trip. Cabins. No escape. The drive north was tense. iPod shuffling indie folk. Dad's dad jokes falling flat. Jackson and I in back. Thighs pressed. Hands laced hidden. Big Sur's cliffs awed. Highway 1 hugging drops. Redwoods ancient. Our cabin. Cozy. Firelit. Parents in one room. Us sharing a loft. Night 1. Rain lashed. We snuck out to the hot springs, mineral steam rising, stars piercing clouds. Naked in the water, bodies close, it was revelation. Slow touches, murmurs of forever. No more hiding, he vowed. Bliss shattered morning too. Tyler texted Jackson, heard you're playing house. Careful, pretty boy. Secrets spill. Screenshot sent to me. Anonymous spite. Rage boiled. Jackson deleted, but paranoia seeded. He's watching. Jealous prick, but doubt crept. Dinner that night. Ellen's stew. Wine flowing. Dad tipsy. Launched into man talk. Boys, love's great, but don't let it derail goals. Jackson, that internship, don't blow it for some fling. Fling. Knife twist. Jackson stiffened. Not a fling. Dad. Ellen sensed. Changed subject. But later, by the fire pit, Dad cornered us. What's this vibe? You two fighting. Jackson cracked. Dad, I'm gay. Logan's. Important. Silence. Then, son. Disappointment. Not hate. We love you. But think it through. Hurt. But progress. Hugs. Awkward. Me, outed by proxy. Dad clapped my shoulder. You too, kid. Hell. Double whammy. Laughter. Tear-streaked. Human. Messy. Back south. Stronger, but Tyler lurked. A week later, he showed at our door. Drunk. Pounding. Jax, open up. Chaos. Dad restraining. Ellen calling cops. Tyler slurring. He was mine first. Closet case. Jackson faced him. Voice steal. Get out. We're done. All of it. Cops hauled him. Restraining order filed. Aftermath. Family therapy sessions in Hillcrest. Dad thawing with bad puns about rainbows. Us. Closer. Scars and all. But climax brewed. Jackson's internship interview clashed with my art show. Go, I urged. Your future. He did. Nailed it. Pride swelled. Yet, betrayal's echo. One night, scrolling, I found Jackson's old emails. Tyler's pleas. Jackson's weak maybe. Not cheating, but wavering. Confronted. Tears. I was scared. Logan. Of losing you to my mess. Scared's no excuse. Heart cracked. I need space. Avoidance again, but mutual. Weeks of polite distance. House a minefield. Space turned the house into a mausoleum. Meals silent. Glances averted. The air thick with what-ifs. December chill nipped at San Diego's eternal summer. Palm fronds rattling like accusations outside my window. I threw myself into finals. All-nighters in the library. Caffeine-fueled renders of queer icons for my portfolio. Marco staged interventions over ramen at Kabuki's in Convoy. You're both idiots in love. Fix it. But pride held me back. Jackson, he buried in labs. Coming home late. Surfboard gathering dust in the garage. Christmas loomed. A forced cheer bomb. Ellen decked halls with lights and a tree taller than Dad's ego. Ornaments clinking like fragile truces. Gifts exchanged. Dad's ugly sweater for me. A leather-bound sketch journal from Ellen. Jackson's for me? Absent. He mumbled about shipping it, but the void gaped. Holiday party at the neighbors. Eggnog flowing. Carols blasting, saw us orbiting. Magnets repelling. He laughed too loud at some engineer's joke. I flirted harmless with Marco to sting. Midnight countdown. Fireworks over the bay. Auld Lang Syne croaked off-key. Alone on the porch. I lit a sparkler, wishing on the fizz. Jackson appeared, breath fogging. Happy New Year. Yeah. Wand tip glowing. Then ash. I'm sorry, Rob. For the emails. The doubt. Therapy's kicking my ass, turns out. Fear's a bitch. I nodded. Sparkler dying. Hurts. Jax. Like I'm always waiting for the other shoe. He reached. Hesitant. Don't wait. Punch me. Yell. Just. Don't leave. Tempted. But the pull? Stronger. Prove you're all in. I will. Bow. Ice fierce. January thought a slow. Coffee runs resuming. Tentative brushes in the kitchen. One night, storm raging, rare SoCal deluge, he knocked. Movie? Truce. We picked Call Me by Your Name. Timothy Chalamet aching on screen mirroring us. Midway, his hand found mine, lacing fingers. No pull away. After credits rolling, he turned. Remember Big Sur? How could I forget? Heat flushed. Led me upstairs. This time his room, posters of quantum physics memes. Surf trophies dusty. Undressed deliberate. Reverent. Kisses trailing spine. Hands worshipping. We moved unhurried. Learning curves. Gasp sinking like waves. Climax built tidal. Crashing mutual. Afterglow whispers. All in. Promise. Trust rebuilt. Brick by brick. Spring semester. Joint projects. Him modeling for my figure drawings, clothed. Then not. Me cheering his hackathon wins. Dates disguised as bro hangs. Tacos at Oscars in Mexican Village. Sunset walks in Cabrillo Canyon. Hands brushing free now. But conflict simmered. Dad's thawing stalled. Offhand comments at dinner. Don't flaunt it. Boys. Stung. Ellen mediated. But tension brewed. Then, betrayal redux. Anonymous email to Dad. Tyler's work. Screenshots of our roof night. Blurry but damning. Your sons are pervs. Dad confronted. Face thunder. What the hell? In my house. Jackson owned it. Yes. We're together. Love each other. Dad's world cracked. Yells. Slammed doors. Ruining everything. Ellen defended. Tears. Love doesn't ruin. It heals. I mediated. Voice steady. Dad. It's us. Your kids. He stormed out. Golfing till dark. Hours later. Return beer in hand. Eyes red. Can't wrap my head. But you're my boys. We'll figure it. Hug. Gruff. Progress. Humanistic, flawed men trying. Summer beckoned. Internships calling. Jackson's. Silicon Valley. 3 months. Mine. Local design firm in Gaslamp. Long distance. Fear nagged. We'll make it. He grinned. Packing. Airport drop-off. Terminal 2. Hugs lingering. Kiss stolen in shadows. Call every night. Texts flew. Miss your sketches. Lab sucks without your coffee. Video calls. Steamy when parents slept. But distance amplified doubts. His new co-workers. Late nights. A photo him arm in arm with a guy. Team building. Innocent. Gut said yes. Head no. Mid-July. Blow up. Call garbled. Him distracted. Who's that laughing? Colleagues. Chill. Chill. Paranoia peaked. Like Tyler. Silence. Then, don't do this. Logan. Hung up. Tears hot. Avoidance via silence, Days radio. Marco. Fly up. Fight face to face. I did red eye. Heart pounding. Arrived Palo Alto dawn. Uber to his sublet. Knocked. Him bleary-eyed. Stubble rough. Logan? What? Punched my ticket on faith. Arms crossed. Us or not? He pulled me in. Door slamming. Us. Always. Collapsed on couch. Confessions. Loneliness. But fidelity. The photo guy? Straight. Wingman. Laughter bubbled. Relief. Weekend idol. Stanford campus strolls. In and out runs. Nights tangled. Reaffirming. Back home. Stronger distance of forge. Fall semester out officially. Campus Alliance featured my mural. Waves of color. Intertwined figures unveiled with Jackson beside. Hand in mine. Cheers. Pride swelling. But climax brewed oceanic. Jackson's thesis advisor pushed a fellowship. East Coast. 2 years. Harvard. Logan. Dream. Mine. SDSU honors. Rooted here. Go. But us. We'll visit. Make it work. Doubt festered. Holidays strained. Arguments masked as tired. Touches cooling. New Year's Eve party. Hillcrest's queer scene pulsing. Saw him dance with an old friend. Too close. Jealousy flared. I bailed. Vespa roaring home. Confront. Can't do long-term lies. It's not. Hurt flashed. You think I'd cheat? Thesis stress. Distance. Erodes. Tears. I choose you. Every time. But seed planted. Spring break. Road trip to Joshua Tree. Desert healing. Stars blanketed. Campfire crackling. We bared souls. Fears of loss. Dreams intertwined. Made love under vast sky. Raw. Connecting. Return, decision. He deferred fellowship. Here. With you. Relief. But guilt. Your future. Our future. Kiss sealed. Graduation loomed, his first. Ceremony. Petco Park. Caps tossing like confetti. I cheered loudest. Roses in hand. After party. Brewery in North Park. Toasts flowing. But betrayal's final twist. Tyler. Out on bail. Cornered us at a bar. Jax. Still slumming. Fists clenched. Walk away. He laughed. Venom. Told your dad more pics. Enjoy the fallout. Panic. Dad called next day, meeting. Now. Family summit. Living room. Coffee cold. Dad slid phone. More screenshots. Manipulated, implying drugs. Worse. Truth. All of it. Jackson broke. Everything. Tyler's harassment. Our love. The fight to protect. Dad listened. Face granite. Enough. Lawyer tomorrow. Restraining order permanent. Then, to us, proud. Messy, but proud. Humanity in the fracture. Forgiveness earned. Summer postgrad. Jackson job hunting local. Me interning. Days beach bumming. Nights creating our art. Joint exhibit planned. Yet, undercurrent. His restlessness. What if I resent you? For staying. Truth bomb. Then go. Love isn't chains. Tears. Embrace. Won't. We build here. Climax crested one stormy August eve. Thunder rolled off the Pacific, lightning fracturing sky. Jackson stormed in, soaked, can't do half measures. Marry me? Someday? Kneeling. Ring simple silver wave band. All in. Yes. Sobs. Joy. Rain lashed windows, but inside, sun. The proposal's afterglow lingered like sea glass, smoothed edges, colors deepened by time. We didn't tell the parents right away, savored it private, whispering plans over stolen weekends in Julian, apple orchards blooming absurd in fall. San Diego hummed on, my senior year ramping, Jackson temping at a startup in Sorrento Valley, debugging code while dreaming of apps for queer creators. Life felt plotted, a rom-com with grit, until the plot twisted, as plots do. October brought the exhibit, our collab at the LGBTQ+ Center in Hillcrest. Tides of us. Walls bloomed. My digital prints of intertwined forms. His coded projections animating them in pulses of light. Opening night. Crowd thick. Wine flowing. Marco emceeing with flair. Jackson's hand in mine. Public now. Drew nods and cheers. Dad even showed. Clapping awkward but genuine. Looks like you. Boys. Proud. High on validation. We after-partied at a speakeasy in East Village. Craft cocktails. Jazz humming low. Tipsy. Tangled in a booth. His knee between mine. The world narrowed to us. Elope? He murmured. Lips brushing ear. Tempting. Giggle. Heat building. Stumbled home. Parents out. Making love urgent on the living room rug. Carpet burns badges of abandon. But dawn brought the call. Tyler. Again. Violated order tailed Jackson from work. Slashed tires on his truck. Cops involved. Court date set. Bastards obsessed, Jackson fumed. Pacing the kitchen. Coffee spilling. Fear coiled. Move in together? My lease ends soon. Eyes lit. Hell yes. Marco's couch surf turned apartment hunt. One bed in University Heights. Balcony overlooking canyons. Rent split fair. Move-in day. Boxes of sketches and surf gear. First fight over closet space. Resolved with laughter. Pizza on the floor. Cohabiting bliss. Mornings tangled. Him brewing pour over while I sketched. Evenings coding beside me. Feet hooked. Holidays. Thanksgiving at home. Dad carving turkey with toasts to new beginnings. Ellen teary. Hugging tight. Winter solstice. Beach bonfire at Moonlight State. Friends circling flames. Jackson strung lights in the sand. Guitar strumming folk tunes. Under stars. He renewed the proposal, ring on finger. Cheers erupting. To us, we clinked bottles. But conflict's shadow lengthened. Jackson's startup gig soured. Boss homophobic. Sidelining him on projects. Fucking politics, he vented. Job apps piling. My internship extended. But imposter syndrome gnawed. Am I enough? One night. Storm echoing our first. Argument erupted. You're pulling away, I accused. Rain sheeting windows. Frustrated. Not away, he slammed cabinet. Want more for us? House. Kids maybe. Stability. Kids. Pipe dream. But rooted. Then fight for it. Not at me. Makeup sex cathartic. Bodies mending words. Therapy resumed, couples now. Unpacking baggage. His abandonment fears. My avoidance armor. Spring renewal. Jackson landed dream job, queer tech nonprofit. building apps for safe spaces. I graduated. Cap toss at SDSU. His whoop loudest. Post-ceremony. Dinner at the Prado in Balboa. Family toasting futures. Yet, climax gathered like thunderhead. Court date for Tyler. Courthouse in downtown. Metal detectors beeping. He sneered across the room. Suit rumpled. Testimonies raw. Jackson's voice steady. Harassment ended us before we began. Won't now. Judge ruled. Jail time. No contact. Outside. Sun blinding. Jackson exhaled. Free. Celebrated at Waterfront Park. Skyline gleaming. Burgers from a truck. To surviving. Clinking sodas. Summer scorched. Our balcony haven. Grilling veggies. Wine under fans. Exhibit toured LA. SF acclaim. But betrayal's ghost. Anonymous post online. Exhibit pics twisted with slurs. Trolls, but stung. Jackson raged. Delete it all? No. Defiant. We own this. Humanity in resilience. Donations poured. Support swelled. Fall wedding planning. Small. Beachy. Coronado shores. Sunset vows. Invites. Family. Marco as best man. Dad walked me. Tradition bent. Ellen teared for Jackson. Vows. You pulled me from avoidance. Into light. Forever. Rings exchanged. Waves witness. Reception. Luau vibes. Hula dancers. Cake smashed faces. Dance floor sway. His whisper. Husband. Honeymoon. Road trip north. Big Sur Redux. Cabins. Hikes. Hot springs steamier. No storms. Just us. Back. Life layered. His app launched. Users raving. My freelance bloomed. Clients queer-focused. Parents visited. Dad grilling, literally. Thawing full. 1 year in. Anniversary hike. Torrey Pines overlook. Picnic spread. Wine chilled. Remember avoiding you? Jackson teased. Arm around. Best bad decision. Kiss. Horizon endless. But story's arc. Humanistic, not saccharine. 2 years wed. Cracks show. His wanderlust itches. East Coast offer again. Visit. Plea. Go if soul calls. Heartaches. But love. Expansive. He stays for now. We build. Therapy check-ins. Date nights. Art shows joint. Betrayal taught. Trust earned daily. Cold stepbrother? Myth. He's warmth. Anchor. In San Diego's endless blue, we drift closer. Tides pulling. Never apart. Epilogue whisper years on. Kids via surrogate. 2 boys. Wild-haired. Sketching waves. Dad dotes. Ellen spoils. Jackson surfs with them. I capture in pixels. Avoidance? Distant memory. Love? The pull that drew us. Unbreakable.